Hello fiction freaks, welcome back to my channel. Today's topic is how to survive against some of the most brutal horror characters if you encountered them, and reasons most of you will not survive. Number 1. Chucky the doll. So the question is simple. Would you survive Chucky if he were real? The answer? Well, yes, and also, absolutely not. Let me explain. First of all, he's a doll. If anyone hears pattering little plastic feet sprinting toward them, they're punting that little man like an NFL kicker trying to win the Super Bowl. Second, no one will investigate a weird noise. A crash in the kitchen at 3 a.m.? They're already packing a bag and leaving the state? No? Hello? Anyone there? I don't play those games. If a toy ever started talking, they'd call 911. A priest? Maybe every emergency hotline in existence. They refuse to face any haunted object alone. It's those people who would survive. Okay, now for those who definitely wouldn't. They are their own worst enemy. If they found a good guy doll lying on the floor, would they poke it with their foot? Yes. Would they pick it up and say, "Wow, look at him"? Unfortunately, also yes. And that moment right there would be exactly when Chucky springs to life and starts stabbing. Calling the police would be too late now. They're already on the floor bleeding out while some dumb little doll just stands there with the murder weapon. So it really depends on the person you are. If you see a random doll on the floor, far from where you left it, and you throw it away, call someone, or just burn the thing. Then you're a survivor. But if you keep that thing and still play around with it, I'm sorry, but you're dead. Survival rate, 75%. Number 2. Jason Voorhees. Jason is basically unstoppable. Jason isn't just a big guy with a weapon, he's borderline supernatural. He gets shot, stabbed, blown up, drowned, burned, electrocuted. And he just keeps coming back. I don't think most people are prepared for someone who treats fatal injuries like mild inconveniences. He doesn't get tired, but you do. Jason walks everywhere, but somehow he always shows up again, and again, and again. Meanwhile, the average person gets winded walking upstairs. Jason has no fatigue, no hesitation, no need to rest. You? One sprint, and you're on the ground, wheezing. When scared, most people trip, drop their phone. Forget how doors work. Make loud noises while hiding. Try to reason with the killer. Jason, on the other hand, is calm, silent, and focused. Fear makes humans sloppy, while Jason capitalizes on every mistake. Also, people split up for no reason. Horror instinct is broken in most humans. When danger appears, instead of sticking together, people suddenly become allergic to groups and wander off alone. Jason absolutely loves that. Crystal Lake is basically Jason's home turf. He knows every trail, cabin, shadow, shed, and shortcut in those woods. Most people would get lost before they even spot him. Then he appears behind them like a GPS with murder enabled. He's stronger than almost anyone. Jason can punch holes through walls, crush skulls, lift full-grown adults with one hand, throw people like frisbees. Even if you fought back, the strength difference is ridiculous. Most people underestimate him. A big guy in a hockey mask? People think, I'll just shoot him, or I'll outrun him, or it's fine, he's slow. No, Jason has survived bullets, caught people mid-run, appeared out of nowhere. It's not just a guy. He is a tank with a machete and zero patience. He has no mercy and no motive you can talk your way around. You can't reason with Jason. Doesn't want money, revenge, closure, or a conversation. His goal is simple. Kill anyone who steps into his territory. There's no negotiation, no psychology. It's no loophole. Last of all, Jason doesn't stop until you're dead. No second chances. No, he'll lose interest. No, just hide until morning. If he is focused on you, he will find you. Most humans simply don't have the stamina or tactical thinking to avoid him long enough to get away. So the survival rate for Jason? I'd say a 15% survival rate if you're lucky. Number 3, Pennywise, the dancing clown. Pennywise doesn't just attack you, he attacks your mind. Pennywise isn't a physical threat at first. He's a psychological one. Can make you hallucinate. See your biggest fears, lose your sense of reality, panic until you can't move. Most people crumble under normal fear, Now imagine fear that's weaponized by a cosmic predator. He literally shapeshifts into whatever terrifies you most. Pennywise doesn't stay as a clown. He becomes the exact thing you personally can't handle. A monster, a dead loved one, your guilt, your trauma, your phobia. Can't fight a fear designed specifically for you. Fear literally makes you weaker. Pennywise feeds on fear. The more scared you are, the more powerful he becomes. Humans can't just turn off fear. Your natural reaction strengthens him. Scared person is basically seasoning on the meal. Most people panic, freeze, or run blindly. Pennywise thrives on human fear responses, freezing up, screaming, running without looking, making bad decisions. He doesn't chase you at human speed. He pops up wherever you run to. You can't outrun something that teleports into your path. He manipulates your emotions. Pennywise reads people like a book. He knows your insecurities, your secrets, your guilt. What broke you? What scares you? Then he uses it instantly. Most humans aren't mentally trained to resist their own psychological weak points. Only people who can resist fear or trauma can fight him. Pennywise is defeated by bravery, unity, refusing to fear him. Emotional resilience. Most adults don't have that level of psychological control. Kids have imagination and belief on their side. Adults, they overthink and break down faster. Pennywise controls the environment, can warp reality around you, turning water into blood, making rooms twist, creating illusions, dragging you into visions. It's not a physical fight. It's a nightmare you can't wake up from. He isolates his victims. Pennywise is patient. He waits until you're alone. You're emotionally vulnerable. Nobody can hear you. You think you're safe? Most people don't even realize they're being hunted until it's too late. He's a cosmic entity, not a killer you can fight. Pennywise isn't like Michael Myers, Jason, or Ghostface. It can be fought physically. Pennywise is an ancient interdimensional being. He can't stab fear itself. Most people don't believe he's real until he's inches from them. Pennywise thrives on disbelief. If you don't take him seriously, he gets closer. If you do take him seriously, your fear feeds him. It's a lose-lose situation. And that's why I'll give you a generous 5% survival rate. Now moving on to number 4, Freddy Krueger. Most people would not survive Freddy Krueger, and the reasoning is almost unfair. Freddy isn't like Jason or Michael, where running, hiding, or fighting gives you even a slim chance. Freddy goes straight for the one place humans are guaranteed to end up eventually: sleep, and that turns survival into a losing battle. Here's why nearly everyone would be toast. You cannot avoid sleeping forever. The biggest problem is baked right into biology. Everyone has to sleep. It's involuntary. The longer you stay awake, your thinking gets fuzzy. You hallucinate. Your reflexes slow. You lose good judgment. Once you fall asleep, which is inevitable, Freddy has home field advantage. Most people wouldn't even last 2 days of sleep deprivation before collapsing. Freddy controls the dream world completely. In dreams, Freddy is a god. He decides the setting, the physics, your abilities, the rules. He can fly, teleport, stretch reality, twist your memories, or pull your worst trauma into shape. The human mind can't fight someone who edits the dream universe like he's using a video game console. Meanwhile, you're stumbling around in a nightmare with no control over anything. Fear makes him stronger. Freddy isn't just a threat. He's a predator who grows more powerful the more scared you are. And nightmares are basically fear factories. Trying to not be scared in your sleep is like trying not to breathe. That doesn't work. Most people panic the moment the dream turns dark. Panic is Freddy's favorite seasoning. Most people don't have lucid dreaming skills. To stand a chance against Freddy, you'd need to realize you're dreaming, control the dream, manipulate the environment, stay calm while a clawed nightmare clown man tries to murder you. Very few people naturally lucid dream. Even fewer can do it under terror. Most people would be helpless spectators inside their own minds. You can't physically fight him. Punching, kicking, stabbing, none of it matters in the dream world. Freddy bends the laws of reality. You swing a bat, it turns into a balloon. You try to run, your legs move like they're stuck in glue. You try to scream, no voice comes out. Dream logic betrays you every time. Freddy kills your mind first. Freddy's real game is psychological torture. By the time he goes in for the kill, most people have already lost grip on reality, become paranoid, exhausted themselves, mentally fractured. And the brain gives him more power than any weapon. It seems like the only people who have a chance at beating or surviving Freddy are the ones who are able to lucid dream naturally, and that is a low 20%. So I'm giving you a 2.5% survival rate. Number 5. Michael Myers, Mr. Halloween himself. Michael Myers is kinda similar to Jason Voorhees in many ways, maybe even worse. Honestly, he might be the worst slasher to ever come across. Here's why. Michael doesn't stop, ever. Michael Myers has one setting: relentless. He doesn't run, he doesn't panic, he doesn't get distracted. He just walks and walks. And somehow he's always right behind you, no matter how fast you run. Most people tire out fast. Michael never does. He has inhuman strength. Michael isn't just strong, he's unnaturally strong. He can lift a grown adult with one arm, crush skulls, break through doors like cardboard, take hits that should kill him. Most people wouldn't even slow him down. He feels no fear, hesitation, or pain. Fear slows humans down. Pain stops them. Hesitation kills them. Michael experiences none of that. He doesn't flinch. He doesn't scream. He doesn't get injured the way normal humans do. You can't scare him, you can't reason with him, and you definitely can't hurt him enough to matter. He is disturbingly silent. You hear Jason coming. You hear Ghostface yelling. You hear Leatherface revving a chainsaw. But Michael, you don't hear anything. No footsteps, no breathing, no warnings. He appears like a glitch in reality. Most people underestimate him. He walks slowly, wears a mask, and uses a kitchen knife. People think they can outrun him, fight him, or outsmart him. They can't. Michael is smarter than he looks. Strategic, aware of his surroundings, shockingly fast in close range. By the time people realize he's not just some guy, it's too late. He always knows where you're going. Michael has an eerie, almost supernatural sense of tracking. He doesn't need to see you run away. He somehow knows where you'll end up. People rely on logic. Michael relies on instinct, and it rarely ever fails. He blends into the environment. A huge man in a mask should be easy to spot, but somehow he is not. Michael stands behind trees, in doorways, in hallways, in your peripheral vision. Most people overlook him until he's close enough to strike, especially since he attacks on Halloween, where almost everyone is wearing a mask. You can't reason with him. Michael doesn't talk. He doesn't negotiate. He doesn't have motives you can exploit. He kills because he kills. Most slashers have a pattern. Michael, he chooses, then pursues until you aren't breathing anymore. He always gets back up. Shot, gets up, stabbed, gets up, burned, gets up, hit by a car, gets up. Most people can't handle a killer who treats fatal damage like a minor inconvenience. Very similar to Jason, but definitely harder to avoid. So, your survival rate for Michael, 5% maximum. Number 6. Pinhead. Here's why most people would not survive Pinhead, and honestly, he might be one of the least survivable horror villains ever created. Pennywise and Freddy are bad. But Pinhead is on a completely different level. Pinhead isn't a slasher. He's a demon from another dimension. Michael Myers, Jason. They're physical threats. Pinhead is a high-ranking Cenobite, a supernatural being whose power goes far beyond stabbing or chasing. He can teleport, summon chains from thin air, manipulate reality, rip bodies apart instantly, peer anywhere he wants. You can't outrun, outfight, or hide from something like that. You don't accidentally meet Pinhead, you summon him. Most people wouldn't even realize the danger until it's too late. Pinhead only appears when the lament configuration, the puzzle box, is solved. And the puzzle box is designed to lure curious people, tempt those searching for pleasure, pain, or answers, trick people into opening it. It's basically a supernatural trap disguised as a toy. Most humans, being curious or stubborn, would mess with it long enough to activate it. Once summoned, Pinhead does not negotiate. Pinhead doesn't chase or stalk. He arrives with the calm energy of someone saying, "You opened the box, we came, and that's it. No pleading, no begging, no deals, no escape." He sees humans as subjects, experiments, souls to claim. He doesn't hate you, simply fulfilling a cosmic duty. You can't fight him physically. People survive Jason or Michael by shooting, running, hiding, attacking back. Pinhead doesn't operate on that plane. If you try to fight him, your weapons fall apart. Your body is pinned by chains. You're teleported to the labyrinth hell. Or he simply decides you can't move anymore. He doesn't even raise his voice. He just wins. I think that's all that needs to be said to give your survivability rate. If you've activated the box, you're already dead, so your survival rate is 0%. Number 7. The Xenomorph from Alien. Most people wouldn't survive a xenomorph encounter for several reasons, almost all tied to how absurdly over-engineered they are as predators in the Alien universe. They are biologically designed to ambush humans. Xenomorphs move silently, cling to walls and ceilings, and navigate dark, cramped spaces far better than humans can. Their entire body plan is optimized for stealth predation. You rarely see a xenomorph until it's already too late. They're incredibly fast and strong. Even a normal xenomorph can outrun humans, overpower them instantly, and break through obstacles. People usually underestimate how physically overwhelming they are. Their intelligence is underestimated. Xenomorphs aren't mindless animals. They set traps, learn patterns, stalk prey strategically, coordinate when in groups. Humans, on the other hand, panic, get isolated, or make noise perfect for a xenomorph to exploit. They have multiple built-in weapons. A single xenomorph has outer jaws to bite, a secondary inner jaw that kills instantly, a bladed tail, claws, a nearly bullet-resistant exoskeleton. Most everyday weapons people have access to wouldn't stop it. Their blood is literal acid. Even if you injure one, you risk melting holes through floors or holes, splashing acid on yourself, creating structural failures that make escape impossible. Trying to kill one often makes the situation worse. So, if you see one and don't try to kill it, you're dead. If you see one and try to kill it, you're most likely dead. So the survival rate with a xenomorph is a low 2%. Finally, number 8. Slender Man. He isn't bound by normal physical rules. Slender Man can teleport or appear instantly, stretch or warp his limbs, move silently and impossibly fast, be in multiple places or angles at once depending on the version. There's no way for an ordinary person to outrun or outmaneuver something that doesn't follow the laws of physics. You usually don't notice him until it's too late. A core part of the legend is that he stalks from a distance, hides in peripheral vision, gets closer only when you look away or lose awareness. Humans have limited attention and weeknight peripheral visions. Slenderman's hunting style exploits those weaknesses perfectly. He causes disorientation and paranoia. Slenderman is associated with memory loss, confusion, distorted perception, time lapses, hallucinations. Even if someone wanted to escape, their mind would not be reliable enough to form a plan. He targets isolation. Slender Man's stories typically involve people alone in forests, empty buildings, remote roads, abandoned places. When isolated, humans have no backup, no safe escape routes. Heightened panic responses. It's the perfect environment for something that stalks quietly. You can't fight what you can't hurt. Slender Man is usually portrayed as invulnerable, unaffected by weapons, able to ignore physical attacks. Most people wouldn't even attempt to fight because fear, shock, or disorientation would kick in first. Psychological breakdown happens before physical danger. Unlike a physical monster, Slender Man gets people by, wearing down their mind, making them paranoid, following them for long periods, isolating them from help. Most people aren't trained to manage that level of stress or fear. The myth relies on inevitability. In the Slender Man mythos, the point is that once you're aware of him or he shows interest in you, it's already too late. Stories are written so there's no realistic survival path. The hopelessness is part of the horror, which is why the survival rate for Slender Man is 0.5%. That's it for this video. If you want to see more videos like this one, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.